Hello, fellow knights and warriors. In my previous video about the rules of Norman Saga, I talked about combat. And today I'm going to continue this stuff because we will cover the rules of charge. Charge is a powerful attack that only mounted warriors can perform. To perform a charge, you have to declare the charge. You are declaring a charge in the second step of your phase, right after all the missile attacks of your warriors are performed. In the offensive fire step, you have to declare all your charges. But it is not that easy. First of all, you need to have mounted warriors, because only mounted warriors can charge. And next, you have to fulfill a number of requirements before you will be able to charge. First of all, there has to be at last 6 hexes movement range between you and the target. There can be more, but there cannot be less than 6. Next, when you will start moving in this 6 hexes range, you cannot make any sharp turnings. What are sharp turnings? Sharp turnings are movement that requires you to change your facing and spend additional movement points for changing this facing. So, for example, let's go to Dragon. If he changes his facing on his front hexes, he doesn't have to spend any additional movement points. So he can change his facing on these 3 front hexes. But changing his facing of any other hexes would require him to spend additional movement points. So such changing is off limits during the charge. Next, he have to see his target. You cannot charge against the target you cannot see. So, for example, if this German warrior would be, for example, here, he would be impossible for Arthur to charge because Arthur cannot simply see him, and you have to see your target before you will start your charge. Next, when you know that you have enough hexes between you and the target, you have to make sure that the last 4 hexes of your charge will be in the straight line without any turning, sharp or not. You cannot change your facing in the last 4 hexes of your charge. You have to move in the straight line. And finally, you need to have enough movement points to charge, because you can charge through the terrain which is other than clear, but even so, you have to fulfill the cost of the hexes. So, if you fill all these conditions, now you know that you can charge. How the charge works? Charge is a simply attack which is resolved in the movement phase as movement and in the combat phase as combat, and it allows you to get a half of your attack points up. So, for example, if Drogon would perform his charge, he would have not 25 points of attack, but 37 points of attack, because we are rounding the half down. And that's pretty good, right? But there is one important limitation. There can be only 1 charge versus 1 warrior. So, for example, let's say Drogon is here and Onfrey is here, and they both can charge at Goran. That's pretty good, but only one of them can charge against him. You cannot perform a charge with these 2 warriors versus a single target together. So now let's see if they can all charge. Let's start with Arthur. He has a straight line of hexes for this German warrior. That's good. There is enough hexes for him to charge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right, there is enough hexes. That's good, because he needs 6 hexes and 4 hexes in the straight line. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. But now there comes a movement points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Each of these hexes costs him 1 movement point, and here we have a slope. and slope costs 4 movement points. So the total number of movement points Arthur would have to spend would be 13. And he has only 12, so no, he cannot charge against this German warrior. And now Drogon. Drogon wants to charge against Goran. So now he moves 1. Now he's changing his facing. 2, 3, 4, and now he's going to charge, and he needs at last 4 hexes in the straight line. That's good, he has them. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yes, he was able to charge, and he will attack Goran with his strength of 25. And we are making it higher but by 12, so it will be 37 versus 7. So the final result will be found in the column of 21-30. That's pretty good. Like I said, Onfray cannot charge at him now because he's already a target of charge of Drogon. A special form of charge is called lance charge. If you have 3 of your knights, yes, knights, with the letter K as the last letter of their class, you can perform a lance charge. They have to start their hexes on their charges on the adjacent hexes, and they have to move in the straight line together. If they perform such a charge, they not only get all the bonuses from the charge, but they also get 1 column shift on the right in the combat table. So let's assume they all made their charge, because they fulfill all the requirements, and now Onfray attacks Rodolph. He has 24 plus 12, so it will be 36, and 36 versus 9, it will be 27. So it will be 21-30 column, and now, because of the lance charge, it will be shifted into 31-50. Byzantine cataphracts can also perform such a kind of charge, but the difference between knights and cataphracts is that they can perform their lance charge against foot warriors only. They cannot perform a lance charge against enemy mounted warriors. And now the final aspect of charge, countercharging. If you are a target of enemy charge and you have mounted warriors anywhere nearby, you may try to perform a countercharge. First of all, your mounted warrior must see the enemy who is declaring a charge. Next, he has to be in the proper number of hexes, because the closer the better. When enemy declares a charge and you want to declare a counter charge, you have to count the number of hexes that enemy needs to move through to perform his charge. So let's say that Onfray wants to charge, and now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now Dietrich will have 4 hexes to go for his counter charge. And now, when the counter-charging unit moves, it must move in the way that will place him on the last 2 hexes of the charge. So Onfray moves, and now Dietrich moves 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now Dietrich is taking place of Rudolf, and Onfray has to fight Dietrich first. As a counter-charging warrior, he has his defense strength up to half. So he has not 11, but 16, because we are rounding it always down. So there will be not 36 versus 9, but 36 versus 16. Now you can tell the difference. Of course, if your mounted warrior is original target of charge, he can countercharge as well. That's pretty good. One more important thing to remember when we are talking about countercharges and charges is that you are performing a countercharge, then the target unit, the one which is originally charging, cannot be a target for any defensive fire. So this means that if Rudolf would be an archer, he wouldn't fire at Onfroy if Dietrich would declare countercharge. If Dietrich wouldn't declare countercharge, then Rudolf would be able to fire at Onfroy, of course, if he would be an archer. He is not, he is a knight. But otherwise, he would be able to fire at Onfroy, but since Dietrich declares countercharge, then he wouldn't be able to fire because he would be afraid of hitting his friend. One more important thing. Remember that you have to declare a countercharge right after the enemy declares his charge. What it means? Enemy says that he wants to declare with, for example, our Onfroy. And now you have your time to declare that you want to countercharge with Dietrich. You cannot wait for the next charge declaration or any other kind of action. You have to declare your countercharge right after the enemy declares his own charge. So this is a very important thing to remember about. So that would be all when it comes to the charge stuff. I hope I was able to lighten things up a bit, and now you will understand how to charge, and you will charge a lot during your games. As you can already tell, charge is very effective attack, so make sure to use it anytime you can. If you will have any questions regarding this particular rule or Norman Saga in general, feel free to post them in the comments. I will gladly answer them.